Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance II and I'm going to be showing you the best horses in the game. And now this is something that is probably going to be very determined by how you play the game, what you like to do, etc. And there are ways to take a horse that isn't very good in one area and at least try to improve it using different tack. And that's not really what we're talking about today. I just want to show you the rough horses themselves, what their stats are, and I'm not going to do it as a composite like this one is the overall best because of these factors. I will show you the top 10 horses in each category. So stamina, capacity, speed, and courage. That's it. In my personal opinion, if you want me to tell you which one I think is the all-around best, it's this one that I have, because I wouldn't have it if I didn't think it was the overall best. It's Erdal. It's one that you can purchase at Malashov in the second map. It's got my favorite color coat. It's got the stats that I really enjoy for a horse. Nice high capacity, decent speed, decent courage, and maybe a little bit less stamina than I would like, but it is what it is. Stamina I find to be the least important out of all of the traits on a horse because it doesn't take long to recharge. But in my opinion, that's the best horse in the game. So if that's all you want, there you go. But now we're just going to go down the list and I'll do the top 10 for the highest stamina first. And then, like I said, we'll go out through each of the subsequent categories after that. And so starting us off at number 10 for the highest stamina, we have Khartoum, a horse that can be found at the Malashov stables. This horse has 210 for stamina, tied with another one that we'll be looking at next, and is just a little bit lower in a couple areas, which is why I used as a tiebreaker. So Khartoum is this horse that I'm showing you now. That's number 10 for stamina. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9 for stamina is Schlamak, which is also a horse that can be found at Malashov stables. It has this brownish coat, and it also has 210 stamina. At number 8 for stamina, we have Gavora, one of the horses you can buy at Kuttenberg. So this one has a little bit better stamina than the last two, having 215. At number 7, we have Vilantif, this horse here that can be bought at the Grund stables, or Grund, however you pronounce that. This one has just slightly better stamina at 219. At number 6, we have another Malashov horse. This one is Artax. At 227 stamina, we're moving up another step over the last one. At number 5, we've got another Malashov horse. It's this black one here, Crow, with 227 stamina. At number 4, we have the second variant of Pebbles. And so this one's a little bit more complicated, and you'll see this one popping up throughout. But Pebbles is the horse you start the game with, and the one that you can reclaim for free if you go to the Semine stables in the first area of the map and confront the groom after looking at the horses. You can get it back. And after you've had Pebbles for a certain amount of time, you'll get an extra perk, and it will improve the stats of Pebbles. And when you do, Pebbles will have 228 for stamina, making it amongst the best horses in the game as far as stamina is concerned. So now we're in the top 3, and at number 3 we have Mark, this horse from Grund, with 231 stamina, being, a significantly better horse than most on this list as far as stamina is concerned. Our runner-up at number 2 is Herring, and this is the second variant of Herring, and you can get this one at Trusty, and it has 231 stamina. So this is another one that is that the stats get this good once it's upgraded. You can get this one for free during a story mission at Trosky Castle, and if you do and keep it for a certain amount of time, its stats will improve, being one of the best horses in the game once they've improved. And so, like I said, once you get there, it will have 231 stamina, being tied with Mark from Grund. The reason I placed this one ahead, other than a couple other tiebreakers, just being that this is a free horse that becomes one of the best in the game. So that's Herring. And then the number 1 best horse, as far as stamina is concerned, is Kinsem. And it's this horse that you can find in Kuttenberg, and it has a stamina stat of 235. So that is all top 10 of the best horses as far as the stamina stat is concerned in Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Now let's move on to capacity. Alright, so now moving on to carrying capacity, at number 10 we have Khartoum, a Malashov horse that has 208 for carrying capacity. At number 9 we have Schlamak, another Malashov horse, at 208 for carrying capacity. At number 8, we have Klugerhans, one of the horses from Grund, with 238 carrying capacity, so a nice step up over those last two. At number 7, we have Svadilfari, another Grund horse that has 238 carrying capacity, much like Klugerhans. At number 6, we have Herring after it's been upgraded, so like I said, once you've had Herring for enough time and used her or him, I don't know, enough, the stats will get better, and he will then have 288 for carrying capacity. So that's pretty solid and a nice step over those last ones. At number 5, we have Bill, a reference to Bill the Pony from Lord of the Rings, one of the horses in the Grund stables, and this one has a remarkable 338 for carrying capacity, so substantially better than all of the rest of the ones we've looked at so far. At number 4, we have the Pizek Lad in Kuttenberg, and this one has, much like Bill, 338 for carrying capacity. At number 3, we have Pebbles, once it's been upgraded, and again, this one you can pick up in Semin at the beginning of the game, and much like Herring, which we've already covered, once you've had Pebbles for long enough, the stats will improve, and once they do, Pebbles will have 353 for carrying capacity, making her the 3rd best horse in the game as far as carrying capacity is concerned. Our runner-up at number 2 is Mark, one of the horses you can get from Grund, and Mark has 358 for carrying capacity, making it just slightly better than Pebbles. And the all-around best horse in the game as far as carrying capacity is concerned is Erdl, one of the Malashov horses. It's this nice black-looking one here, and it has a carrying capacity of 368. So that is our top 10 best horses as far as carrying capacity is concerned. Now let's move on to our race horses with speed. All right, so we're starting with our speed ranking now, and at number 10 we have a horse named Crow that you can buy at the Malashov stables. This one has a speed of 49, so pretty good, a lot better than obviously the other 13 horses in this game. So solid stats starting off. This is a nice and fast horse. At number 9, we have one that you can buy in Kuttenberg named Gavora. This one has a speed stat of 50, so 1 point better than our last one. At number 8, we have Khartoum, one of the horses you can buy in Malashov. This one has a speed stat of 53. At number 7, we have Pebbles, once it's been upgraded. Again, the horse that you can pick up at the Semin horse farm at the beginning of the game, and once you've ridden Pebbles long enough, her stats will upgrade and you will have a 54 speed stat for her. At number 6, we have one of the horses you can buy in Kuttenberg. This one is the Pizek Lad. It has a speed stat of 55. At number 5, we have another horse from Kuttenberg. This one is Napoli, and this one has a slightly better speed stat of 56. At number 4, we have Herring, the horse that you can get for free at Trusty Castle during one of the early story missions, and if you keep Herring long enough, you will then, his or her stats will improve, and her speed stat will be 56, which is pretty dang good, especially considering it's a free horse. At number 3, we have one of the horses in Grund named Windward. This one has a speed stat of 57, being another point higher than the last two. Our runner-up at number 2 is one of the horses that can be purchased at the Malashov stables. This one's name is Kaztanka, and it has a speed stat of 59. And our number 1 fastest horse in the game is one of the ones you can purchase in Kuttenberg. Its name is Kingdom, and it has a speed stat of 60. So bear in mind that these 10 horses are faster than the other ones in the game, and like I said, there are 13 other ones, if you count the earlier stat versions of Pebbles and Herring as horses. But keep in mind that although these are the 10 fastest, Kingdom, the fastest one, is a lot faster than Crow. Crow being the number 10 one on this list with 49 speed, Kingdom being the number 1 fastest with 60 speed, so that's 11 faster. So definitely some pretty quick horses on this list, but that does it for speed. Now let's move on to our final ranking, and that is courage. And so our courage stat is going to be important for various things, like not getting bucked off your horse when you're riding past an enemy camp, or things like riding into battle. So if you like participating in mounted combat in this game and you want your horse to act like a war horse, your courage stat is going to be something that you want to be high. And so our top 10 for courage starts off with one from Malashov named Khartoum. This one has a courage stat of 17, again making it better than the other 13 horses on this list, but also the worst out of the top 10. So that is, like I said, Khartoum from Malashov. At number 9, we have one with level 20 courage, or 20 for the courage stat, and this is Klugerhans from the Grund stables. At number 8, we have one with a courage stat of 22. This one can be found at the Malashov stables, and it is the Crow horse, so this nice pretty looking black one. At number 7, we have a horse with a courage stat of 23, so just slightly better than Crow. This one can be found at the Grund stables, and it is Svadilfari. I always pronounce that one weird. This is that nice pretty white horse we've got in front of us here. At number 6, we've got another one with 23 for the courage stat. This one can be purchased in Kuttenberg, and it's the Pizek Lad. At number 5, we've got this white horse with a courage stat of 24 that can be purchased in Grund. This one's name is Vilantip. At number 4, we've got another white one. This one has a courage stat of 28, however, and it can be purchased at the Malashov stables, and its name is Artax. At number 3, we've got a brown horse with a courage stat of 30. This one can also be purchased at the Malashov stables, and its name is Schlamak. Our runner-up at number 2 is a black horse with a courage stat of 30 that you can purchase at the Malashov stables, and its name is Erdal. This one is my personal favorite in the game. And our number 1 bravest horse in the game has a courage stat of 30, much like the last two we've looked at, and it can be purchased at the Malashov stables, and its name is Kaztanka. So, all of the stables have their own specialty, I should say, and the Malashov stables definitely appears to be war horses, but other than that, you know, you kind of got to go all around the map for the best in each one. So it's up to you to decide which stats are the most important. I've given you the list of the top 10 for each one. You'll notice that the only area that Pebbles and Herring do not really get very good at, once you've leveled them up, is bravery. They get better with stamina, capacity, and speed, but even in their second iteration, they do not make it into the top 10 as far as courage is concerned. And that is important, because it doesn't matter how much stuff your horse can carry, or how fast it is, or how much stamina it has. If it, you know, bucks you off and you get killed by enemies every time you get around them, that's probably going to be something that's fairly annoying. And so I wanted to make this video for two reasons, one of which being I know a lot of people are interested in finding what the best horse is in the game, and some people might want to just see all of the options out there so they can choose. For me personally, once the stats get to a certain level of goodness, especially carrying capacity, because that's the one that's probably the most important to me, other than courage, I mostly just go for the coat that I like the best. But I know a lot of people really like to min-max based on what they're doing, so maybe if you've got a horse race that you're finding particularly difficult, you're going to want to go ahead and grab the fastest horse in the game or something like that. But with all that being said, I know I said Erdal's my personal favorite, but it's entirely possible that, you know, best might have been an overreach. I also wanted to make this video because I've seen a lot of people saying that if you keep Pebbles, she becomes the best horse in the game. That's simply not true. Now, if you keep Pebbles and level her up, she becomes among the top 10 for 3 of the different categories in the game. So she becomes very good, and you could easily use her all the way through the end and probably never be upset that she's not a good horse or something like that. And the same thing goes for Herring. For the most part, Herring is better than Pebbles if you keep Herring long enough in the game. So they definitely reward you for keeping either of those 2 free horse options. But like I said, either way, there are quite a few horses in the game that are in fact better than both Pebbles and Herring. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful if you were, you know, trying to decide which horse you wanted to buy. But that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.